Hello, I'm Jennifer Bryant, the host of the Enough Mom podcast. The Enough Mom podcast started out as the Practical Family podcast back in 2017, where I was helping families to build strong foundations and healthy homes. And what I realized was that mothers needed the most support in areas around their emotional and their mental health. So after a few years of podcasting hiatus, I took that time to really connect with my own communities, my homeschool mama communities, my church mama communities, and I created the Enough Mom platform. Basically, I rebranded and now I am here to serve mothers who struggle with mental health, with emotional health. And it's something very near and dear to me, something that I have struggled with myself in the past. And so I'm coming on in a brand new podcast format, brand new season in my life. I am now parenting teenagers who are in the middle of high school. It's so crazy. It does go by fast. It's such a cliche to say that, I know, but it really does. And before I knew it, I was dealing with teenager type issues. I tell you what, moms, raising teenagers really takes you back to your own teenage years. No joke, because everything about what they're going through can trigger a lot of very real, very visceral memories and things, because that's the time in our life when we are changing the most, and when we're developing our own identities apart from our parents, right? And so now, as parents ourselves, we are often faced with the difficult task of looking at ourselves, really, and trying to make sense of what season we're in now, how we're supposed to respond to the ever-changing minds and thought processes and sometimes emotional outbursts of our teenagers. Where did our little kids go? I don't know. But they're in there somewhere. They're just a more highly developed person. And we get to raise them. We get to be there for that. In speaking with many mothers in my own community and online, of course, I want to be able to be there for you. Now, what do I mean by be there for you? I'm a teacher by nature. I'm inquisitive. I've got this journalistic personality. So the things that I learn, I want to share with others. And I am so excited to be able to share things that have helped me along my road to parenting, to imperfect parenting. By the way, this is going to be a pretty imperfect podcast. And I have committed to myself that by restarting podcasting again in this season of my life, that I'm committing to doing it imperfectly. Because you know what? It's taken me 3 years to publish again. And I think it was because I was shoring up myself until I knew that I could do it well, which there's a lot to say for wanting to put something out there that's excellent. But sometimes you just got to put things out there that are imperfect, because if you keep waiting for it to be better and better, you may not ever do it. And I proved that to myself by waiting so long to put out meaningful content. I'm here, I'm on social media, but I've also found that in the depth of, gosh, I feel like we're all just drowning in information nowadays, right? Like we're living in such a time of mass information and ever-changing technology that I think we're getting buried at this point. It's no longer, oh, do your due diligence and make sure that you check all your facts. Yes, that also. But because of tech and AI and fake news and all these things coming at us all the time, constant scrolling, we can forget to just slow down and remember the most basic, simple things. And so that's what I want to do with you, for you, alongside you. I want to remind you of the simple truths that we can hold on to when we feel inundated with massive amounts of information. Because, mama, all of that information is scary. It's giving us anxiety. Am I right? Am I right? Because I keep hearing that left and right. Moms are afraid of doing the wrong thing because they're getting so much information at the same time. We are drowning in ideas. And if anyone knows what that feels like, it's me. I am an ADHD woman. I have an ADHD brain. Let's just put it that way, okay? I don't want to identify as any one particular disorder, for the lack of a better word. I know people don't like that word anymore, but we have to be real with who we are, where we are in different times of our lives. And I am a person, I am a woman, I'm a mother, I'm a wife who struggles to keep her thoughts in order. My brain works in such a way where I forget things. I overlook things. My brain bounces from one idea to the next, but I still seem to stay organized in some respects. I believe that neurodivergent people have different systems of organization, and we'll talk about that as well on the show. We'll talk about how those of us whose brains are going a million miles a minute, or who maybe we need more time to process things, maybe we struggle with time blindness, where we have to use a lot of tools like timers to keep ourselves on track. I missed a couple meetings last week for the love, and I knew it's because I was overloaded. I was still coming down from the craziness of the end of the school year, and I forgot to set timers for meetings I was supposed to be at, and I had to apologize. I had to swallow my pride and apologize. But that's part of what it means to live with a neurodivergent brain. And there needs to be all kinds of grace for yourself, if you're going to move forward with any semblance of sanity. There's no use in beating yourself up for things that you miss. And that's going to be a huge part of what it means to be an enough mom. What do I mean by enough? It means that you are enough as you are. You are probably doing enough. You don't need to stress yourself out about doing more, or missing cues, or missing out on things that you think you're supposed to, quote unquote, supposed to be at or do. Enough mom means that you evaluate your values. What's important to you comes first. Taking care of your body, of your mind, of your spirit. Oh, and I had to take a deep breath out, or exhale out when I say that, because it feels like we're just holding a lot of things. So welcome to the new version of me, of Jennifer Bryant, but also welcome to the new version of you that you're going to continue to grow in. The grace is important. It's so important. And I believe that when we know our own value, and we know that we are worth the grace that I believe is given to us by God, but when we're worth the grace and the love and the acceptance that we so often fail to give to ourselves, then we're better able to advocate to ourselves, to our friends, to our family who may not fully understand us yet. My husband and I have been having this ongoing conversation about why we're different. We sit with our counselor about monthly now, and we talk with her about help us to see each other for who we are, help us to respond to each other, to remind each other that we are our own person. And that's what I want for you, Mama. I want you to live in the grace, but also the confidence that you know who you are. You know what your strengths are. Of course, your shortcomings are always in front of you, right? We can never forget about the things that we mess up on. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well on this podcast, a little bit about brain science, how our brain works. Now, please note and make a note that I am not a licensed professional counselor, at least not yet. That's a dream of mine for someday. But right now, all I am is an educator. I'm a person who's lived through these things. But whatever medical or scientific information I bring to you will always be credited to the source, to the best of my ability. And I want to help to pass on important information to you so that you can know that you can live as an enough mom. You are enough right where you are. And we're going to talk about how to have the courage, the confidence, and the calling to move forward in motherhood in a way where you're not losing your mind, because your mind is beautiful and you get to make choices that are right for you and for your family. So thank you for having me back. I look forward to talking with you on social media. Please visit me at Jennifer Bryant _ That's the only way I could get my name on there clearly. I'm there on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on X as well. And then you can check out my website, jennifer-bryant.com, for more information on the Enough Mom community that is it's growing. We're growing it to a place where we're going to have some meaningful conversations with each other over chat, maybe some workshops here and there. So please join the community and consider becoming a member of our Enough Mom collective. Thank you again, and here's to living as enough and having courage to be confident in your calling.